The Seattle Seahawks have a first round pick. Ooh, sorry to scare you, but the inevitable realization that the Seattle Seahawks are in fact going to do something absolutely brain dead in this year's draft is beginning to set. I have had a very odd lack of motivation to think about the draft because, there are guys that I like. There are guys I want the Seahawks to draft. But one, a lot of those guys are some of the top guys in the class, so there's really no guarantee that they even get to our pick, so it's really about who falls to us. And two, even if they fall to us, there's a very good chance the Seahawks just are complete idiots and Pete Carroll and John Schneider decide to draft the worst possible option on the board. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. There are rumors, there are insiders talking about how the Seattle Seahawks are very high on Trevor Penning, offensive tackle out of Northern Iowa. Trevor Penning, someone that I despise as a prospect, especially if, Ikem Ekwonu, Evan Neal, Charles Cross are there, and we take Trevor Penning, I might jump out of a window. I might see how hot I can make my bath with a microwave inside of it. You know what I'm saying? Trevor Penning is not a great option for the Seattle Seahawks. Let me tell you why. Now, let's go over here and let's look at his prospect, his little draft profile, right? The NFL thinks he's a pretty good prospect. 6.4. He'll become a starter, a good starter within 2 years. Everything here kind of jumps off and you're like, oh, wow, that's pretty solid. 6'7". I think he's listed at like 6'7.5", 325, big arms, big hands, I think. Very good 40-yard dash. Just did very well in the combine in general with his measurables and his athleticism. And, you've got the player bio. You got all the good strengths that he's got. He's gritty. What everyone says about a white NFL player. They have grit. All right. And, you see all these positives. You're like, wow, more strengths than there are weaknesses. That's pretty good. But let me tell you, there's some issues. And I'm going to come back to this page because this source down here, the sources tell us from the NFL, I believe that's Pete Carroll. I don't know why, or at least someone from the Seahawks. But let me move on to this right here. We're going to look at a couple clips of film on Trevor Penning, all right? And let me show you what my issue is with him. So here, look, you got him at the pro day, I believe. Okay, he's throwing a guy down. That looks pretty good, right? That looks pretty good. He threw a guy down. But see, throwing a guy down and then pushing him for no reason in a pro day is one thing. But right here, this is something you don't want to see. When you throw someone down into your quarterback, and look at him, he puts his hand there, he's like, hey, buddy, are you all right? I accidentally just almost ended your career. Desmond Ridder, who is going to be a first round, if not a first round, he's going to be a second round pick, high second rounder. Imagine if doing this, Trevor Penning just broke his leg and then he's not getting drafted or he's going to get drafted way later. That's an idiotic play by Trevor Penning here. Oh, look at you. You're holding like a madman, and then you use that holding to gain leverage to throw him into your quarterback's legs, thus sacking him and possibly coming close to injuring him. Absolutely horrible play. I do not like what Trevor Penning shows. Yeah, he's got this, I want to throw people down. I want to be this monster because I'm bigger than everyone. But if you actually watch a lot of his pro day or when he does the one-on-ones, he's getting bodied by everyone. He's getting pushed back 20 yards by every single person he faces. And then he has one good one and everyone just starts going crazy oh, dude, look at him. He threw this guy on the ground. And watch this play. Look, right here. He just gets bodied, dude. He's on the ground begging for it, dude. He's lucky Deshaun Watson wasn't in the stands. It's just so incredible. I really have high hopes that we do not draft Trevor Penning, because if we do, that would be an issue. But let me show you something right here. Do you see this area that says sources tell us? Let me read you this and tell me who it sounds like. It says, don't overthink it when you write him up. He's got size, length, toughness. He's smart. He works his tail off, loves to play football. That is what you look for in a starting tackle. From an executive for an NFC team. You know what team is in the NFC? The Seattle Seahawks. You know who really loves to use the term working his tail off? Pete Carroll. Now, obviously, does Pete Carroll count as an executive because he's like president of football operations or something weird like that? I don't know. But this sounds like a Pete Carroll quote to me. And especially when you say Trevor Penning is what you look for in a starting tackle, that really shows that you don't know what a good offensive line is. And we've seen a lot of examples of the Seattle Seahawks not knowing what a good O-line is. Basically, Russell Wilson's entire career. But Trevor Penning, just a very quick thing to go over him. There have been reports that the Seahawks are looking at taking him at 9 or maybe trading down to take him later in the first. I don't think Trevor Penning is a good idea at all, in the slightest. There are a lot of guys I would rather have on the offensive line. You got Charles Cross, Evan Neal, of course. If anybody in the top 3 of the offensive tackle rankings, Cross, Neal, Ikem Ekwonu, fall to us and we don't take them and we take Trevor Penning, if Sauce Gardner or Derek Stingley fall to us and we take Trevor Penning, if any of the top 4 pass rushers drop to us and we take Trevor Penning, I will most definitely take every kitchen appliance that can be plugged into a wall outlet and take a bath with them. And that is not a joke, because Trevor Penning would be that stupid of a pick. I don't care if in 10 years Trevor Penning is the greatest offensive tackle to ever live. That is not the guy you take in this situation. There are much safer guys than Trevor Penning. And Trevor Penning, really, I couldn't care less how many good plays he has. That one play where he almost injured Desmond Ridder because he wanted to throw a guy instead of just trying to win a block, absolutely blasphemous. Pissed me off. And I despise Trevor Penning because of that. But, the draft is coming up here soon. I think it's Thursday, Wednesday, Friday, one of those days. The draft is coming up. We have pick 9. Will the Seattle Seahawks make a solid selection? Probably not. Will the Seattle Seahawks trade down out of the 9th pick? Probably. Will the Seattle Seahawks take a quarterback in the first round? I sure hope not. But we'll just have to see. Right now, there is really no clear direction of where this draft is going to go. It would be incredible for the Seattle Seahawks if a lot of these mock drafts with the Lions taking Malik Willis, Panthers taking Kenny Pickett, or some other quarterback, if that is the case, the Seattle Seahawks will be winning, because basically everybody in the top of the draft, all the DNs, all the corners, all the offensive linemen, are positions of need for the Seahawks. If something like quarterback or wide receiver is taken before the Seattle Seahawks pick, that is a position that the Seahawks don't really need over the other positions being taken off the board, thus giving more room for players of positional need to fall to the Seattle Seahawks number 9 pick, and for them to make an idiotic decision like taking Trevor Penning. I don't know. This really worries me. We haven't really heard anything stupid out of the Seattle Seahawks this year for the draft, but this is a bit not smart. All right. The Seattle Seahawks, if we take Trevor Penning, that'll be worse than the Dwayne Eskridge pick, in my opinion. I'm just so low on Trevor Penning. I don't know why so many people have such a high grade on him. When I watch anybody talk about tape on Trevor Penning, the main things that you see him over being just bigger than everybody in college that he played against, or he's throwing people into his quarterback, or he's getting pushed back by any good pass rusher that you see. He's not winning blocks very often against good pass rushers. He's either bodying people that are smaller than him, or he's losing. That's it. And that is something that does not make me want to draft him. And it infuriates me what he did to Desmond Ridder, mainly because I like Desmond Ridder a lot. I hope we can take Desmond Ridder in the second round. Maybe we trade up to late first round, get rid of one of our second round picks. I think we have 2 fourths maybe in this and 2 seconds. So maybe we second and a fourth to get to the late first round pick, get Desmond Ridder, as well as hopefully a smart player that's not named Trevor Penning at number 9. I don't know, but we'll just have to see what happens in the draft. I've kind of come to this conclusion that I don't really want to focus on getting my hopes up for players for the draft. I just want to see what happens, and then once I do that, look as much into who we got as possible. Unless we get someone like Sauce Gardner or Evan Neal or something like that, who I am already very high on. But we'll just have to see what happens with the Seattle Seahawks in the draft. Trevor Penning, information has been saying Seahawks like him. I hope it's wrong. I hope they're lying. I hope it's a smokescreen so that someone takes Trevor Penning before the Seahawks pick and they just absolutely finesse them. That would be fantastic. If the Seahawks are like, dude, we love Trevor Penning at number 9. I really hope the Giants at number 5 and 7 don't take Trevor Penning. Wink, wink. That'd be awesome. But I don't think we're that smart. I don't think Pete Carroll is smart enough to do anything like that. But that's going to be it for this video. Let me know down below in the comments who you think the Seattle Seahawks could draft. I could name about 15 players I'd rather have over Trevor Penning. But if the Seahawks draft Trevor Penning, what would you do? I know what I'd do, but let me know down below in the comments. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new. With that, I'd like to thank you for watching. Have a great day.